Hey folks, this yin practice is all about feeling supported. We are going to use the support of a wall. We're also going to use the support of lots of props. So if you don't have a bolster, that's cool. You could grab some blankets and roll them up. You could use some pillows from your bed or your couch. And having an extra blanket is great, and 2 blocks. And of course, the help of a wall. So if you can get all of those things together and get close to a wall, then we'll get started. We're going to start at the wall and just shimming your way up close, swinging the legs up. If the lower back is sensitive, you could always place your blanket underneath the lower back. And just wiggling your way around so you get comfortable. You could have your feet just splaying out to the side. The legs are relaxed. Your arms resting by your sides. You might like to have one hand over your heart, one hand over your belly. Or you could even take your arms up overhead into a diamond shape. And closing your eyes. Settling in, feeling the support of the floor beneath you. Feeling the back of the skull cradled by the mat. And the shoulder blades resting heavy. And the legs supported by the wall. Allowing the mind to shift from going and doing to just being. Feeling the breath move so easy in and out of the nose. The belly rising and falling. And just let the back of the head rock side to side. And we'll bend the knees, Hug them in towards the body, give them a little squeeze. You might like to rock side to side, massaging the lower back. We're going to take one more shape with the help of the wall. And there's lots of options. So you could extend the legs back up the wall and just open them up into a wide V shape. We're targeting the inner thighs or inner groin. Or you could bend the knees and have the soles of the feet come onto the wall. So it's almost like you're in a low squat and just letting the knees fall to the side. So both options are targeting the inner thighs. You can just choose which one feels best in your body tonight. In the yin practice, we hang out in these shapes anywhere from 3 to 5, sometimes more minutes. Relaxing all muscular effort in these targeted areas so we can get into the deeper layers of connective tissue and fascia. Getting into the deeper joints, the bones. And the quieter and stiller that we become, often the mind might become a little more busy, a little more loud. So see if you can just focus on the breath. Just take this one breath at a time, one thought at a time. Allowing yourself to be supported by the floor and the wall. And on your next breath in, just using the help of your hands to draw the legs together and then bringing the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself another hug. So maybe you're someone who, in your work, you take care of other people. Or maybe you're someone who is taking care of family members or children. And you're always that support system for others. So taking this time to support yourself in this form of self-care just means that you have so much more to give to the others that you care for in your day-to-day life. And then rolling onto one side, slowly making your way up. And we're going to come into twisted deer. So we'll just reach for our bolsters or our pillows. We're going to take our bolster to the front of the mat. We'll take our right shin in front of us, bending the knee, and then just taking our left knee towards the right foot. And if you have any sensitivity with the right hip, you could always place a blanket there or a blanket underneath the knees. And we're gonna twist towards the bolster and then walking our way forward and down. If it feels like the bolster is too far forward, you could always have a block underneath to bring the bolster up a little. And I like to have a blanket for a little extra cushion. So taking your time to set that up, and coming into a twist, nice opening for the spine, and then also targeting the lower body. Taking our time just to bring the torso up. We're going to come into this on the other side, and all we have to do for this one, we just twist the legs over in the other direction. So taking very little movements. So now facing the left. Twisting so the torso comes to fall down over the bolster or the pillows. Taking the deer variation in the legs. We'll slowly come up, release from this. You might like to just sit back onto the hands and let the knees rock side to side. And then when you're ready, we'll come into a supported child's pose. So we really shouldn't have to do too much with the props that we've just used. You could come just down onto the bolster, which is on the floor, or I actually like to bring my bolster up onto blocks. So block corresponding to each edge of the far end of the bolsters. So it creates a little bit of space under there for my arms to wrap around. So snuggling up to the bolster. I might even just take my blanket here and wrap it around me. Make this super supportive and cozy. So coming forward, have your arms just beside the bolster or wrapping underneath. And you can just choose one cheek to rest on. I'll cue to turn the head in the other direction as we go. And if you'd like, you can switch, resting on the other cheek, getting a bit of a stretch into the other side of the neck. And then sinking back a little bit into the hips, releasing through the lower back, feeling the rise and the fall of the torso as you breathe. Breathing in and breathing out. inhale, walking the hands towards the knees, just coming up slowly. Oh. And we'll move our bolster or pillows just to the front of the mat, moving blocks off to the side. And we're going to come into Sphinx. So coming down onto our bellies. We'll take our elbows underneath the shoulders. Now this might be enough of a back bend for you, so you could stay just up onto the elbows. Even this might feel too aggressive, so you may come down, wing the elbows and just rest on your hands. Or if you'd like to come up a little bit deeper, you can use the support of bolster or your blanket. Come up onto elevated elbows. Closing the eyes, and as we settle into this shape, we're targeting the lower to lumbar spine. So to get into those bones, we relax through the muscles of the lower back. Relax through the glutes. We're relaxing the entire lower body. And creating an opening through the abdomen, front of the body. And checking in with the mind. Just observing where your thoughts are right now. And let's release from here. Slow movements. We'll just come all the way down onto our bellies. You could rest your forehead on the hands. And before you move, just take a few breaths to observe the sensations that you're feeling through the lower back. You could be feeling a rush of energy, chi. You could be feeling blood, lymph moving through that area. We'll take our hands to the outsides of our ribs just so we can press up into a table. We'll just take a moment just to round through the spine, chin coming in towards the chest. And then letting the belly drop, tailbone rises, opening through the chest. And we'll move into sleeping swan. So just making your bolster a little more accessible, bringing it a little closer to you. And then we'll bring the right knee in towards the right wrist. You can just drape that calf along the mat. Doesn't need to be parallel with the front of the mat. There's nothing aggressive. And then inching the left leg back. You might like having the support of a blanket propped underneath the right hip. And we'll bring the bolster closer to us so we can start to lay the torso down on it. You might like having your bolster directly in front of you. You might even like coming a little bit off to one side. So the angle of your torso in relation to the legs is going to change the sensation you're getting in that outer right hip. Coming out of this shape, just moving the bolster a little bit out of the way, and tuck the back toes, lifting up and back into a downward dog. Might feel nice to sway the hips, pedal out the legs. And then in your own time, we're going to move into sleeping swan on the other side. So coming back onto all fours, we'll take our left knee in towards the left wrist. Just walking the right leg back, being mindful of any pain in the left knee, and bringing this bolster close to us, setting things up. Might take a while to kind of wiggle around, find your edge, and then we'll settle in. Imagining that you could breathe all the way down into the left lower hip. The inhale is creating space. Exhales, releasing stress. Feeling the support of the bolster. Next breath in, we just make our way up. There's absolutely no rush to get anywhere. Moving our pillows, bolsters, releasing by coming into a downward dog. I might like to just come onto all fours and let the hips sway. And whether you're in downward dog or on all fours, you could bring the neck into this, just releasing through the neck, through the shoulders. We'll come into a supported fish. So again, bringing the bolster here to the front of the mat. You might like to have some blocks just close by. We're going to turn around so the lower back is right up against the bolster. You could bring the soles of your feet together and have the knees fall out, taking these butterfly legs with blocks underneath. Or you could just have your legs out in front, extended long. A blanket is also another nice option, just to drape over the legs. It's very normal in a yin practice that we get cold over time, so having the blanket is really nice. Give you a little extra warmth in these last moments of our practice. And we'll take our arms out wide. We're opening through the chest, through the shoulders. We're creating another back bend for the lower back. And opening through the inner thighs if the knees are bent. Let your belly be really soft. Imagining all of your internal organs just hanging free and loose. Lots of space. The eyelids are resting heavy on your eyes. The eyes heavy in their sockets. The skin on your cheeks, it's so soft. And the jaw relaxes, your tongue falling away from the roof of your mouth. That ease spreads down into your neck and your shoulders. Giving yourself permission to relax a little bit more. Give yourself permission to feel supported. Allow the inhales to become a little bit deeper and longer. Exhaling slower. You let the back of the head just rock side to side. The hands could help close the knees if they were open. Just taking a moment to reach up overhead. Stretching all the way up through the fingertips. You can roll out through the wrists. Moving your toes, ankles, and then when you're ready, just rolling over onto one side. And we'll just land in a fetal shape. You could use your bottom arm to rest your head on. Top hand helps you to come all the way up, and we'll just come to a seat. Getting comfortable, you roll out through the shoulders. Bring our hands to our heart. We'll just humble the chin, bowing to one another in gratitude, reflecting on the time that we've invested in self-care. And I hope that as you move forward into the rest of your evening or day, that you know you're not alone and that you feel supported. Namaste.